Recording in progress. Recording stopped.
February 2026, 30
Recording
p.m.
in progress.
The invocation will be by Vice Chair Smart, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by myself. Y'all please stand.
Bow our heads, please. Almighty, excuse me, Almighty gracious and listening God, Lord, we thank you for the freedom to be here today. Ask you to watch over our service members deployed, fighting for our freedom, Lord. Ask you to look after Leo as they protect us here and our firemen and medics too, Lord. Ask you to guide and direct the discussion and decisions here tonight that'll be in your will. All these things we ask in Christ's name, and all God's children said, Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We would like the attendance roll call, please.
Supervisor Riddle,
Present.
Chair Roller,
Present.
Supervisor Oaks,
Present.
Supervisor Witt,
Present.
Vice Chair Smart,
Present.
Supervisor Thompson,
Present.
Supervisor McDowell,
Here.
Supervisor Clayton.
Present.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is adoption of the agenda. Are there any additions or changes to the agenda? If none, I would entertain a motion to approve, adopt the agenda.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Supervisor Oaks and seconded by Vice Chair Small to adopt the agenda. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. The agenda is adopted. The next item is approval of minutes. We have the June 16, 2026 Planning Commission Board of Supervisors Joint Meeting, pages 7 through 43. The June 30th, 2026 Recreation Committee meeting, pages 44 through 47. The June 30th, 2026 Board of Supervisors regular meeting, pages 48 through 70. And the July 20th, 2026 Finance Committee meeting, pages 71 through 76. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? If none, I'll entertain a motion for approval of those minutes.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Supervisor Riddle and seconded by Supervisor Oaks to approve the minutes. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. The minutes are approved. The next item on the agenda is our consent agenda approval. We have a warrants from June 2026 on page 76. Request for public hearing for fiscal year 26-27 budget amendment supplemental appropriations, pages 79 through 81. Our treasurer's report, June 30th, 2026, pages 28, amounts are 82 through 83. And administrative correction resolution 2026-29, pages 84 through 86. I'd be glad to entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
So moved, Mr. Chairman. Second.
It's been properly motioned by Vice Chair Smart and seconded by Supervisor Thompson to approve the consent agenda. Everyone in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. The consent agenda is approved. The next item is recognitions, new staff members. And, I think, Mr. Braid, if you would take care of that, please.
Thank you,
Okay.
Chair. So we have, two new employees, Ms. Stacy Cook, has just joined us returning back home, after having, spent some time in South Carolina, Jefferson, South Carolina, as their municipal clerk of court, and the treasurer for the town of Jefferson. So she has been, brought on as the executive assistant, to myself. And at some point subsequent to this particular meeting, we will put forward a recommendation for her to serve as the deputy clerk, to the board. Secondly, we also have, Mr. Ricky Nelson. He's not physically here today, but Ricky is, rejoining us on a interim basis as the, Public Works, Director. And so, both of these individuals are, one's rejoining the team. Ms. Cook is new to the team, but we welcome them both, for the support that we know that they will be giving us.
Okay.
Thank you.
And Stacy, welcome, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Okay. The next item on the agenda is citizens' comments. A few of the guidelines, remove your headgear, speak into the microphone and clearly state your name and address. Questions shall be directed to the chair. No applause or comments from the audience. Shouting, profanity, threats, personal attacks, or similar actions are unacceptable. Language or actions which insult or demean any person or group of persons, or which, when directed at a public official or employee, is not related to his official duties, is prohibited. There is a time limit of 3 minutes. Now, open the floor for citizens' comments. If you have citizens' comments, please feel free to come forward.
Good evening, Chair Rowland and Board of Supervisors. My name is Sue Hughes Thompson. I live at 1100 Cluster Springs Road, South Austin. This is all new to me, how our community is run and operates, so I did some research. Halifax County has approximately 531,000 acres of land. Solar projects are approximately 10,320 acres. Of this, 5,794.3 are actually covered by solar panels. In 2006, the board's audience for solar projects was no more than 5 megawatts. In 2018, the Planning Commission Board began advancing and approving large-scale solar projects exceeding the 5 megawatt solar. On December 17, 2024, the Board of Supervisors approved the ordinance and the amendments to the Chapter 53 zoning regarding solar energy facilities following a joint public hearing. The reason I bring this up is the board we have today is not the same board we had in the past that started the solar projects. The question I have about the Boxwood solar project is why it didn't get denied in the beginning with so much controversy instead of allowing the solar company to spend millions of dollars and fulfilling all the requirements, 42 of them, and the Planning Commission Board to vote no after all the requirements were met, and leaving the Board of Supervisors to have to vote on it. That's really not right. The integrity of our word as a community would be ruined. I would be first to say solar panels are not pretty to look at. So I would like to suggest a plan to help the board and our community. When it comes to 3 controversial issues, solar projects, data centers, battery storage facilities, and whatever district it's trying to come in, to let the people of that district vote in a district election. So letting the people of the district be the ones to decide whether they come in that district or not. The majority vote would decide the results, and that all the people of that district voices would be heard. Then the board would be free from negative comments like the ones I've heard, such as the bribe got to him, they're all crooks, someone paid them to say yes, and they're all in it for the money, money, money. I believe that life and liberty are our God-given rights. We live in a fallen world, and our fight is a spiritual one, where good versus evil. We have all, one time or another, been upset or angry when trying to get our point heard and how we handle our problems. According to the Bible, we can find it in 1 Corinthians 14:40. And let all things be done decently and in order. One last thing, I am not for solar projects, data centers, flock cameras, or battery storage facilities. What I am for is trying to do the right thing the right way. Thank you.
Good evening, Chairman Roller, Board of Supervisors, Mr. Braid. I did some research, and the purpose of the Board of Supervisors is to serve the public with integrity, transparency, accountability, and respect. The code of conduct established for this is being violated. We have no respect amongst board members. We have no respect for the public. We have no respect for each other. The board is supposed to place the interests of the organizations and the community above personal interest. That is not happening. I will again state, Mr. Oakes, you posted on social media that DEI gets you a pass on everything. School board is no different. Racism cuts both ways. Our silence empowers the cancer. Black people are complicit by their support of skin color in electing people unfit to serve our country. That's your statement, not mine. Mr. Smart, you reposted that comment to show your support for this rant. DEI not only supported minority-owned business, but also women and small business of this country. The position you took on your statement was that it only helped people of color. Every large-scale business in this country, no matter how big it is, was once a small business. That is what we need to support, the growth of small business, women, and minority-owned business in this county. Board members shall treat fellow board members, staff, volunteers, and members of the public with courtesy and respect. Listen to different viewpoints with an open mind. These meetings have turned into an unethical shouting match between some members, even being called names by each other. Is this the example we want to set for the younger generation? Board members are supposed to refrain from personal attacks, intimidation, harassment, and discriminatory behavior, and accept responsibility for their actions. Again, Mr. Oakes, you personally posted on social media that my employer should hire a better quality of employee. I've admitted to you, this board, and on Facebook that, yeah, I've been arrested. And you consider me to be a second-class citizen. You too have been arrested, so that makes you a second-class board member. Board members shall communicate honestly and respectfully with constituents, staff, and one another. Up to this point, these meetings have violated every code of conduct set forth by the bylaws of this county. Over the past several months, there have been numerous violations of a right to speak by the chair and vice chair of this board. Mr. Bailey, a 74-year-old man. James Gordon, a highly decorated veteran, business owner who's fighting the hardest battle of his life right now with cancer. Stacy Jackson Long, a federal employee of the Postal Service, all being denied their right to speak. You did not know what the topic or subject was they were speaking on because you did not give them a chance. Mr. Witt, if you recall, you pulled the same charade in May of 2024 with me. The only difference is I defied your request. I finished saying what I had to say. That was my right, it is my right, and it will continue to be my right. When the constituents voted for members to be appointed to this board to represent 8 different districts of this county, we envisioned having 8 distinguished businessmen to lead our county with pride and ethics. Now we are left with one county of 8 boring districts with no hope of peace in sight. Board members shall void using their position for personal gain or benefit of family members, friends, or businesses.
Your time is up. Your time's up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Catherine Carter, District 6. There is considerable controversy between the people of Halifax County and the Halifax County Board of Supervisors. The controversy boils down to an issue of ignorance of all but a handful of people in this room as to what the statutes say and the superior common law of the Constitution that you swore solemn oaths before God to protect, to secure the people's rights. The cause of ignorance is due to the administrative state-run public school system that never taught the people their federal bills of rights, nor Virginia's the model for the entire nation. These instruments are essential because they protect the rights both expressed and retained by and reserved to the people and their posterity. Unalienable rights to life, liberty, property, and pursuit of happiness. The form of government both Virginia and federal constitutions guarantee the people is a Republican form of government. 3 separate and distinct departments of government and free periodical elections. No political party, no government official has any power superior to that of the people and their rights as the founders intended in the Bill of Rights, your sacred contracts with the people. When the Board of Supervisors operates under the unconstitutional statutes imposed locally by federal and state legislatures, you are operating under the administrative state that usurps people's rights. I have a presentation that will explain what this means, how the people actively participated in their local governments during colonial times and in the beginning of the Constitution, how all people, once emancipation took place, had the same rights equally today. Most people in this county, regardless of race, color, or creed, do not want solar deserts or data centers defiling and ending the quiet, peaceful rural life and harmony we enjoy in Halifax County. I am petitioning this body for redress of grievances with remedy to place me on the agenda to educate the county government and the people what has happened and how the people have the right, duty, and power to reform and restore our guaranteed free republic, where people and their posterity have peacefully, respectfully, and freely, while not causing harm to other live peacefully, while not causing harm to people or property, that they do unto others as you would have them do unto you, a Christian commandment of God. I am awaiting a letter of response due by August the 9th to my petition for redress of grievances I submitted by email June 30th, 2026, followed by a return receipt of the same. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brian Sheffer, 3200 Tobacco Road, City, Virginia. Come to you tonight as one of the people, sui juris. I'll start out with scripture. Luke 11:52 says, "Woe unto you, lawyers, for ye have taken away the key of knowledge. Ye enter not in yourselves, and them that were entering in ye hindered." And I have a scripture for the people behind me. It's in Hosea 4:6. And God said to Israel, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God." Let me say that again. The law of God. We just prayed in Jesus' name. We need to follow the law of God. With that said, with Miss Carter, what she just got done referring to, you took an oath. Article 2, Section 7, Oath of Office. I'm going to give you a reminder. All officers elected or appointed under this Constitution shall be entering upon the discharges of their duties. Take and describe the following oath or affirmation. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia. Let that sink in. And that I will faithfully and impartially discharge all the duties incumbent upon me as your position, according to the best of my ability, so help me God. It's a powerful oath in front of our Lord and Savior that you took that. You're our servants. Virginia Constitution, Article 1, Section 2. We, the people, hold all the political power. That magistrates are our servants. We come to you for a redress of grievance. We're looking to you to solve that problem via the Constitution and not statutory law. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
I don't reckon I need much of an introduction, but my name is Ken Dunn. I live in Robbie Smart's district. And I just got one thing I want to talk about. First, I do want to note I'm not a convicted criminal, so that's a good thing. I also didn't need DEI to get into the military. Robbie Smart did because of his height, I believe. So we're going to talk about flock cameras, all right? So I've got a little bit of time for this. I want to start by saying plainly I support our law enforcement officers, and I support giving them good tools. When a flock camera helps recover a stolen car, find a missing child, or catch someone who just committed a violent crime, that's the system working exactly as it's intended. I'm not here to ask you to rip out cameras or tell you deputies they can't have modern technology. I'm here because supporting law enforcement and supporting unlimited, unaudited surveillance are not the same thing. Tonight, I'm asking the board to do something specific. If this county has an active flock safety contract or any agreement that gives our agencies access to another jurisdiction's flock network, pause it. If there's a contract in the pipeline or a proposal on the table or a plan being discussed, put it on hold. Here's why. In Georgia alone, at least 20 law enforcement officers and public officials have been fired, arrested, or charged in the past year for misusing Flock's license plate database. Not to fight crime, but to track ex-partners, romantic interests, and acquaintances. 5 Albany police officers were fired and arrested for misuse. A DelCap County sergeant with 17 years on the job was fired and charged with a felony. Habersham County deputy, a Greene County deputy, 3 Cherokee County sheriff's employees, including a lieutenant and a sergeant. 3 Richmond County deputies, 3 Fayetteville officers, a supervisor at a real-time crime center in Conyers, and the list goes on and on. North Carolina, it's all over the place. The other thing is these flock cameras have been proven in the state of California to share information with federal agencies, whether that's ICE, CBP, FBI, ATF, or DEA. I don't know about y'all. I worked for the feds for a little while. I believe that this is a violation of privacy, and that's coming from a federal informant. That's someone who violated privacy in the name of the state. And I'm telling you now, this is a violation of privacy. What I'm asking the board to do, I don't know exactly where this county stands right now, whether we already have a flock safety contract in place, whether one is being drafted, or whether this is purely a future possibility, because we haven't seen much transparency from this board. So I'm asking the board to act on whichever of those is true. Whatever situation we're in, I'm requesting that you form a committee and do some research on flock safety cameras, make sure they're not allowed in the county until research is done. Immediately pause any active camera operations and new data collection. You swore an oath to the Constitution. I hate writing speeches. You swore an oath to the Constitution, and in that Constitution, you got the 4th Amendment right to privacy. All right, we're going through the courts right now. It's going to the Supreme Court out of Newport News. So if you put up flock cameras and you arrest people for it, and then the Supreme Court says, hey, these are not allowed, guess how many overturned convictions you're going to have? And it's going to be wasted on taxpayer money. So that's what I had to say. I stand by it. I stand by everything else I've said online. I'm not afraid of any one of you. I'm not afraid of anybody in this county, and I'll keep standing up for what's right. I'm tacking on, by the way. Thank you.
Ron, can I ask you one question right quick? Do we have a contract with a company on flock cameras?
I don't know. I'm taking it down as an action to find out if we do.
Okay, I'd like to know that by the next meeting.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, I'm Brooke Clay. I live in Alton. Firstly, I would like to thank the men and women in this audience for allowing me to speak today. This is the taxpayers' building, and without you all, this wouldn't be possible. We gave our power to the board, entrusting them to do what the people want. We hold the power. We have given them the power, but we are the ones who hold the power. It is you all who hold the power. Don't ever allow anyone to let you think otherwise. This county was built on blue-collar Americans. We are the glue that hold this country together. And don't forget it either. Secondly, I would like to address the way our District 6 representative was disrespected at the last meeting. And let me get this clear. I'm not talking about Monty Thompson. I'm talking about Mrs. Long. She is the only person standing up for what Alton wants. And I will not stand by and allow her to be disrespected and allow her freedom of speech to be taken. Next, I was informed I will be treated as a threat at this meeting. I've never been a threat to anyone. 5'5", 150-pound girl that usually brings 3 kids in here? Give me a fucking break. I don't appreciate the scare tactics being used to scare me out of this meeting. You're not going to scare me at all. I've been through more than most of y'all have in your lifetime, I promise you. You might got age on me, but I bet you don't got life on me. Clearly, we no longer have the right to freedom of speech, which means we are no longer free. And I don't take that lightly. Do you think something's funny, Mrs. Smart? Because I don't. Okay. The people feel as if you've put yourself up on a high horse because they aren't being listened to. It's not your job to do what you think is best. It's your job to do what the people want and to listen to the people. You wouldn't be put in those seats if not for the people speaking here tonight. They put you here and they can vote you out. Stop treating them as if you're better than them. We're all God's children. Let's talk about solar and data centers and Hitachi. Hitachi brings in an average of 2.5 million a year. And the Boxwood solar farm is only going to bring in 7.7 million in 40 years. Does that make sense to you? Yeah, me neither. So Hitachi can bring in almost triple what the solar can in 5 years. If every county in America fences in 20,000 acres for solar, that's on average of 63 million acres. Where do you expect the wildlife to go? I have a voice in my head that says, forgive them, Father, for they not know what they do. This is bigger than us. These data centers, flock cameras are for mass population control. It's to bring in the Antichrist. Open up a Bible. It has to be a time, and the time is now. You all need to pick a side, good versus evil, God versus the devil. What side are you picking? This is what it's truly about, and I want God to know I tried to tell you. So when the time comes for you to face Him, you can look God in the eye. I can't control you, or if you decide to listen,
Ms. Clay,
but it's your job to pick good or evil.
your 3 minutes up. Thank you.
It ain't like you listen anyway.
Good evening. My name is Stacy Long, and I'm from the Alton community. Recently, the Alton Post Office Solar was fined $106,000 for not complying with DEQ requirements concerning their agreement to properly operate and maintain their facility. They had been warned over 2 years ago, and it took this long to even find them. Why did it take so long, and who is responsible for holding these facilities accountable? We would like to know if we're safe and is our water safe. Being that we're one of the first projects, we didn't get water or soil testing as part of our regulations. This makes me wonder that if a solar company has trouble complying with the least strict regulations, how are we supposed to trust that they will comply with the stricter ones in place now? I'm also aware of what the governor of Virginia has put into place starting July 1 concerning solar and battery storage. Her goal of over 16,000 megawatts of solar by 2035 is astounding. And it could be coming near you, in your backyard. No bans are being allowed, and even if a local board says no, they have to give a detailed reason why. My question is this: if our governor has set this in motion and taken away your votes to even vote on our behalf, then who do we look for help? Doesn't that mean we're under communist rule, being that our voices are all silenced? You were all voted, trusted, and voted in to sit here and make decisions on our behalf, to be our voices. That's a heavy burden, I know. Are you listening to those very people who put you there? Every decision you make directly affects real people like us. It's easy to look at numbers on paper and make decisions based on dollar amounts and necessities. But put yourselves in the shoes of the people you're representing and think about their feelings and the impact it makes on their lives directly. The governor has made it harder for you to say no to solar, but it isn't impossible. You can still stand up and do what's right. As Americans, we're given the right to have representation, but it just seems there's nowhere to turn in this case. According to the Declaration of Independence, all people are born equal and have basic rights, and government exists to protect these rights. And you get their power from the people you govern. I am respectfully asking for your help to save our county that we all obviously love, or we wouldn't care so much. I know not everyone attends church, but most of you do. We all have a responsibility to be good stewards of what we are given. The land we stand on and live on is ours to take care of and not destroy. I intend on leaving it better than I found it. Matthew 7:12 says, "So in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you, for this is the law and the prophets." If we all followed that rule, I truly believe we'd all be better for it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening, Scarlett Brandon, resident Halifax County. Good evening, members of the board. We're often told that industrial solar belongs in rural agricultural areas, that it brings in tax revenue, jobs, and so-called clean energy. My 3 minutes tonight are not about whether solar energy is good or bad. It is about land use. Agricultural land exists for farming, forestry, open space, and rural communities, not industrial development. If industrial scale solar can be placed anywhere farmland can be zoned, then agricultural zoning means absolutely nothing. We often hear a landowner has the right to do what they want with their property. I agree, property rights do matter. But property rights do not belong only to the landowner signing a long-term lease with the solar company. They also belong to the families who bought and built homes and land nearby because they believed they were living in an agricultural community. Those families accepted the same zoning restrictions because they expected their neighbors would be governed by the same rules. When one property owner profits from converting land into an industrial facility, the surrounding landowners are the ones who live with the consequences. That is why zoning exists. It exists to balance everyone's rights, not just the one person's financial opportunity. The developer receives the project, the participating landowner receives lease payments, the county hopes for additional tax revenue. The neighboring families receive industrial infrastructure, miles of fencing, transmission lines, maintenance traffic, and permanently changed landscape. The financial benefits are concentrated. The impacts are shared. Some of you on this board campaigned on preserving our rural character. You spoke proudly about driving through Halifax County and seeing green rolling farmland. You assured voters that industrial solar did not belong on agricultural land. Last month, your vote gave this community an opportunity to see how those campaign promises are forgotten. Supporting farmland preservation is easy during an election. It matters most after that election. Technology will continue to change. Today's solar panels will eventually be replaced. Companies will come and go. But once land is converted to industrial use, that lasts for generations. Every approval makes the next approval easier. Every exception moves the line a little further. Soon, the rural character people say they cherish exists only in memories. Tonight, I ask for you to remember your decision affects far more people than the solar applicants before you.
Hello, my name is Betty Furman, and I'm an Alton resident. And I am speaking tonight to follow up on the July 10th meeting in reference to the concerns that our neighbors had about the Hope Center Ministry Security and Safety Plan. Thank you for taking the time to listen to our concerns, but please understand that Hope Center Ministries letter to the community was misleading, saying they were repurposing a church campus to help men in recovery, and now we are left with the neighbors' concern when it went from a church to a house, and then from men in recovery to men needing security and surveillance. The board previously stated in addressing our safety concerns that this facility must be completely secured. We expected that meant fencing, especially when that was required by the county for similar facilities of this nature, but instead we're still having to rely solely on a few staff members and cameras. The security plan is still an illusion. The regional director expects us to rely on him to be on site from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. during the work week, but still oversee facilities across 6 other counties. The 5 p.m. to 9 a.m. 16-hour overnight shift that is every day is handled by 2 people, one of whom works a full-time day job, arrives at this facility at 5 p.m., sleeps and works the night shift, and this person is also considered to be the live on-site personnel. Furthermore, it is also verified that this is not a certified Virginia Department of it's not certified by the Virginia Department of Behavioral Health and Development Services. So this is a concern since according to their proposal, they accept people with legals in their program. Our safety concerns are still the same, so please mandate fencing along the properties for the neighboring properties owners' peace of mind, and zero tolerance where neighbors is forced to call 911 to their safety being threatened to the fault of the facility. And to keep from stretching their staff further, please do not allow them to have second dwellings because they have been already trying to figure out how to cover one dwelling. So please think about our safety. In this community, safety is gold, and we deserve the protection and security that Halifax County said that they would give to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, gentlemen. My name's Lauren Chopin, Harding Street, Halifax. I didn't come with any prepared remarks tonight. I'm not here to give you a lecture or give a sermon or grandstand. I just felt moved to speak when I heard that members of this board did not already know whether or not there was a flock contract with the county. I am really quite alarmed at the lack of knowledge of the board members on this subject. This is a subject that your community cares greatly about, especially people with young families and younger people, the very people who are bleeding from this county, who you are desperate or should be desperate to retain within our borders. They are the future of our economy. They are the future of this county. This is an issue that demographic cares about, and you should too. I am not an expert. I do believe that with every new technology that is there to fight and prevent crime, that you have to take it to the scales and see how much a new technology prevents crime, prevents violence, and doesn't infringe upon our freedoms. In this case, from what I know so far, flock infringes upon our freedoms more than is okay to take to the scales to prevent and go after criminals. This is a very black and white issue when you get down to it. It is also an issue that has to do with a lot of private money going into these cameras and these companies. And I would hate to see our taxpayer dollars that are greatly needed for other things within this county to go towards this issue. You are not in charge of this entire nation. You are in charge of this county. But I would like everyone to hold in mind that this nation was founded upon freedom. And that includes freedom from a surveillance state. You can't control what happens at the national level, but you can control what happens within this county's borders. I would beg you to keep in mind that flock is not freedom. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jackie Keaton. I live in Cluster Springs, and I had no intentions of speaking tonight, nor did I prepare anything to speak on for y'all to vote on. I'm here to speak on y'all's behavior throughout the meetings. I've been to numerous meetings, and I watch y'all sit up here bored as your constituents come through and speak about true concerns of theirs. I watch y'all look at your phones to check the time, maybe an email, maybe someone texts you, I don't know. But our kids aren't even allowed phones in school, but y'all feel it's okay to sit up here and have them distract you while your constituents are up here pouring out their hearts about things they have no control over in their community. They've given y'all that control. And unfortunately, y'all don't care enough to show them attention. I bet y'all couldn't tell me what the third person's name was if you didn't write it down. I bet you couldn't tell me what the fourth person's problem was, what the fifth person's true concern was, because y'all aren't paying that close of attention. Y'all are probably thinking about what you're having for supper tonight. Y'all pay very little attention in these meetings, as everybody here can tell you. Hell, the young lady finished talking and said, well, y'all won't pay no mind. Because it's very obvious to those of us sitting out there, y'all are here to put on a show and then do whatever you want when we're leave anyways. So personally, honestly, I'd speak to more of the people here. Let's see how to overthrow them.
Real quick, my name's Charles Holt. This is very new to me. It's the first meeting for me. I think the last woman made a good point. You guys don't look so good sitting up there. You don't look good at all. I'd like to follow up with Mr. McDowell's question to the gentleman over there. When will you know? And what are we here talking about if you don't know? And is it important to you? Let's compare it to TSA. This is a policy. How many tens of thousands of sexual assault cases and stolen goods have resulted of that program? And how many terrorist attacks have they prevented? We can compare them to all kinds of different programs. I'd really like someone to answer us about, is there a contract and what does it entail? If we can turn this one down, then we can turn the next one down. We can reverse what's already up. You have no idea the hellscape that you're bringing in on us. You have no clue. And if you're doing it for money, then shame on you.
I take it I need no introduction. For those of you who don't know who I am, Glenn Williamson. I live in the southwestern part of the county, so close to VIR that the place rumbles every morning till dark. A few months ago, I think it was in March, Gazette Virginian reported that the county wants to explore data centers. They want to get in on the thing just like everybody else does. Mecklenburg's got one. Person County's about to get one. Danville wants to build one. It's divisive. That's the best you can say about it. I have watched newscasts that people behave, you wouldn't think they would normally do that, but they will. But my question to the county is, if we're going to explore this, do we have the infrastructure in this county to support it? If you have any idea what kind of electricity those things use and water, and I don't think Halifax County has that infrastructure in place. Until it does, it's time to leave that genie in the bottle. I hope you'll think about it before you decide you want a data center.
Thirsty Sherman, Virgilina, Virginia. And I'm not going to complain about anything. Most of the people that I've heard, they do have genuine concerns. And I think that it is up to you to address those concerns. I do not think that this particular meeting is the time for that. There's too many people here that have too many concerns and too few of you there to address each concern. So I have come up with an option, and I would like for each of you to participate in this. Community open forums. Dear supervisors, I'm excited to announce that I'm ready to restart my community open forums, and I hope that you will consider participating. To comply with Virginia's open meeting requirements, no more than 2 Board of Supervisor members will be invited to any individual forum. This will ensure that the event is not considered an official board meeting, but it will allow meaningful interaction with the residents. My schedule is currently very flexible, and I would like to invite you to select a date, a time, and a location within your district. Not somewhere else, but your district. Once we have your date and location confirmed, I will handle the promotion by writing articles for the local newspaper and advertising the event on social media. I truly believe these community open forums provide an excellent opportunity for you to engage directly with your constituents. answer their questions, hear their concerns, and discuss the issues that matter most to your district, because they're the ones that put you here. Together, we can help foster greater communication, transparency, and positive progress throughout Halifax County. Please call or text me with your preferred date and location so we can begin planning, and I'll also follow up with each of you with a phone call. Sincerely, Thirsty Sherman, and my phone number. Mr. Administrator, would you take one of these and give each supervisor one? That way they have my name and my phone number on here. Please call me with any questions, and please, I do hope, and I know the citizens of this community really do hope that you will be involved in this. I think it's great. I think it's great for you, because the people that are attacking you, they need to be one-on-one with you instead of sitting in a big room where people are going to talk, they are going to clap no matter what you say. That's human nature. They're going to do that. I really do hope that you'll consider doing these open forums. I think it's great for the community, and if I can help anyway, please let me know. Unlike the rest of them, thank you for what you do. I know that it's hard, and I know there's decisions to make that you don't get sleep at night. Thank you.
Good evening. I live in northern Halifax. I also have a question for the whole solar thing. Why can we not invest in solar canopies for the acres of parking lots we have here in the county? There's Hups Mills Plaza, Greens Folly Crossing, the Walmart Lowe's Riverdale Plaza, missing Halifax Square, and a couple others.
Excuse me, did I get your name, please?
Rob.
Rob.
Correct. Kyle. But as I was saying, we have plenty of acreage here that's also already desolate due to asphalt. Why can we not cover it there? Many other counties are investing in such things. Appreciate it.
Anyone else care to address the board?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Christine McKinney-Privet. I live at 2100 River Road. And I'm here tonight. I didn't bring a speech, prepare one. I didn't have time, to be honest. But I'm going to tell you something. The discussion of more solar panels, data centers. We don't need this in this county, especially data centers. I don't know if you guys have looked into everything on them, the negative part of it or not, but it's a lot. And it's a lot to destroy the land, the animals, the habitat, people's way of life. Not only that, but these decisions are going to affect our children and our grandchildren as well. That bothers me. And if you have grandchildren or children, I would hope that you feel as some of us do out here, that you would like to leave this county in a better place than what we have right now. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
My name is Faisal Abdel Jalil. I'm from Palestine. I got a couple things I want to talk about. I think the cameras are not ready to be used. We haven't did the right research on it, the cost, what it would affect the community. Secondly, I think the solar is getting way out of hand. You know, I think everybody's looking at the money and how they can put money in their pocket instead of looking at the future for the kids and the grandkids and trying to keep them in the community. Third, and I ain't got a dime in it, but I'm gonna bring it up. I was told there's a employee that's asking for a 25% raise for his new job. I think that's excessive. I don't know the person, but if you're going to give that kind of raise to employee, I think the police officers and stuff should get that type of raise, not a grounds person or whatever the person that's getting it. I think that should be looked in and talked about between the board members and Ron and really, that's a lot. I worked for the highway department for over 35 years. And we never got no kind of raise like that. 2%, 1%. Sometimes we didn't get nothing. And insurance went up. So to give somebody a 25% raise, that's outrageous. I don't, like I said, I ain't got a dime in it. I just thought I'd bring it up so y'all aware of it. If you're not aware of it, and I think the cameras need to be checked into and researched better before we spend a lot of money in it. And I think we need to build the community for the kids and the grandkids, and not for us. Thank you.
Anyone else? If not, I close the citizen comment portion of our meeting. Thank you. There are no public hearings or presentations. We now move on to committee reports. The first being the Finance Committee meeting. And that's going to be pages 91 and 92.
Brady, you want to cover that? Or Margaret?
Yeah.
The Finance Committee, you going to make a recommendation, or you want me to do that?
Thank you, Supervisor Witt. At the Finance Committee meeting on July 22nd, reviewed a number of items, and there were three which were moved and passed. The first being in response to Commissioner of Revenue Howe's proposed eligibility revisions for real estate property tax exemption, excuse me, I'm sorry. Changing income limits to a little bit better so that you can have a little more income and qualify. And as shown on page 94 in the agenda booklet and is online with the agenda material, there would be 100% tax exemption if your income from all sources is less than or equal to $30,000. Between $30,000 and $35,000, she proposes, and the Finance Committee concurred, 75% reduction, and between $35,000 and $40,000, a 50% reduction. And earning more than 40%, earning more than $40,000 would not be eligible.
So board members, this is on the finance committee. If you look on page 94, you'll see the chart. And the first action of this is to approve raising the income level for tax relief, for real estate tax relief. And it goes from 15 to 30, and it goes from 20 to 35, and 22 to 40. It goes 30, 35, and 40 for tax relief based on your income. And this is a action ordinance that needs to be taken by the board.
Yeah, and this is for the elderly persons and disabled persons. And,
Right.
Supervisor McDowell, I think you expressed during our budget approval thing. And Ms. Powell looked at adjoining counties and had a layout. Basically, we are increasing our amounts that hadn't been increased in quite a long time to match pretty much the surrounding counties. And if you look at it, it's pretty much doubling the amount. But it's been quite a few years too, so I think it's appropriate.
That motion's on the floor.
Yeah, but anyway, that was a motion that was made in the committee, recommended to the Board of Supervisors. So it is a motion on the floor. And I guess it's open for discussion. The ordinance 2026-34.
I'd like to thank the committee for considering this. I think our elderly really need some help. We're a poor county. And I appreciate the work that's been done on this.
Is this one time or permanent?
Permanent.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Okay. If there's no other discussion, if y'all ready to vote, everyone in favor of ordinance 2026-34, basically the ordinance amending and reordering sections 20-768 and 20-69 of Article 14, Chapter 20 of the Code of County of Halifax, Virginia, relating to real estate tax exemptions for certain elderly persons and disabled persons. All in favor of adopting this ordinance signify by saying aye. Roll call. Yes, roll call, please.
Supervisor Riddle,
Yes.
Chair Roller,
Yes.
Supervisor Oaks,
Yes.
Supervisor Witt,
Yes.
Vice Chair Smart,
Yes.
Supervisor Thompson,
Yes.
Supervisor McDowell,
That's 2 yeses.
Supervisor Claiborne.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, the next item is to recommend to the board to increase employees' salaries by 1.5% from the previous 2% because the state of Virginia approved 3.5% for all state employees. And that's school board and county constitutional positions. And our recommendation is to match all employees with the same salary increase. So the recommendation from the committee, Mr. Chairman, is to approve the 1.5% additional salary increase from what we passed earlier.
And again, that is a motion and a second recommended to the Board of Supervisors, which places it on the floor. Any discussion, questions regarding this?
Yes, a citizen just brought up tonight about a 25% increase. I don't think was there a 25% increase?
I'm not familiar with a 25% increase planned for anyone in the county.
Of this year, with the budget that just passed.
Right.
Is that true? Did that
You'd
happen?
have to ask Mr. Brady.
I'm not aware of it.
I'm not aware of that. He didn't have a specific name, and so with the specific name, you can go and look
Well,
at it.
of any employee, what was the highest percentage increase for
It
anybody?
was 2%.
3.5%.
In the original budget, 2%, and we're asking for another, 1.5%.
So it's 3.5%, yeah.
So there wasn't a 25%
No, sir, I think, Mr. Clever, being on the committee, I think someone.
I'm asking Mr. I'm asking them to explain it to me. I just want the explanation from the administrator to the board and to the people.
Yeah, I can explain it.
Oh, that's fine, Robert, just, he wants him to explain.
Mr. Clay went for $25,000 request done by the 911 Emergency Services in the 2026 budget.
It wasn't granted,
It
was it?
16 of 35. $25,000 requested by department head for salary adjustment.
Was
This does
that-
not include benefits. And it was $20,000, my mistake.
That wasn't approved.
The only way that would happen is if somebody went from part-time to full-time or a new position, something like that. I don't, Mr. Brady will check that out, okay?
Just to be transparent, like you said, we want to be transparent to them.
We're not aware of anybody with a 25% salary increase.
It wasn't
in the county.
25%, Mr. Witt, not being corrected. It was a $20,000 one-time department head salary adjustment. This does not include related benefits.
Okay. Would you share that with Mr. Brady after the meeting and then
Sure.
we'll
Just
we'll
because it was
check that
okay.
out, okay?
Okay, thank you, that's all I have to say.
Okay, any discussion regarding this additional 1.5% match for the, to match your comp board raises from the state? There's no discussion or comments, everyone in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. That motion passes.
So do we need to do the scale, so to go along with this, you have to adapt the scales to meet as people move up a step. So we're saying that we want to increase the pay scale 3.5% to match the 3.5% increases. This is not any extra money, it's just making the scale match what we're doing. And according to the way we need to take action to adopt the new scale that reflects the 3.5%. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and this will every year from now on.
Not necessarily.
Right.
One of the recommendations that came out of the finance committee meeting was yes, we have not moved the scale in several years. So move it on this year at the 3.5% and then do both best practices, what other jurisdictions may or may not be choosing to do, how that portion of pay and benefits are working, what impact might that have if it's done every 3 years, or what should be the best timing. So that will be looked at over the next few months, and certainly by early spring, as we do budget development, we'll bring back more information to the board.
Okay.
This motion only reflects this year.
Yes, this year, yeah.
Let me ask one question. Did, the hospitalization insurance, did it go up?
Yeah.
So this is in consideration with that?
That's on top of the
Okay,
hospital.
okay.
Okay, it's a motion on the floor. Any further discussion, questions? If not, all in favor of increasing the pay scale by 3.5%, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. The motion carries. The next items on the agenda is the airport committee meeting. We had 2 items on there. Both of them, I think, are related to storage of airplanes, hangar rent and tie down room. Jason?
That's correct. At the meeting,
we have not raised rates for hangar rent in quite some time, I guess, since they were first built. That's probably been 8 years ago now. Mr. Witt,
I'm asking because I think you were here on the board. Has it been 8 years or has it been longer?
Longer than that.
Longer than that? Okay. So they hadn't been raised since then. So the airport committee felt like it was time to up the rate from 135 to 150 per month. And any questions, I'll be more than happy to try to answer them for you. But the reason was we haven't raised rates in substantial time and we're trying to put more money back into the airport, so.
The recommendations go from 135 to 150 a month.
Yes, sir. And then probably with the committee had talked about doing an escalating thing of about $25 every year after that for maintenance costs, because our maintenance team is the one that has to do all the maintenance over there on the hangars and so forth too. So, we need to be able to pay for our folks to be able to work over there also.
But that's not included in this proposal.
No, sir, we did not. They just felt like it was not needed in this proposal at this time because they weren't sure they were ready to do that 100% yet, so.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion that we move forward and raise the hangar rent at Tuck Airport from 135 to 150 per month.
Second.
135 to 150. It's been properly motioned by Vice Chair Smart and seconded by Supervisor Oaks to increase the hangar rental to $150 per month. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. The motion carries. Okay, Jason.
The second item we have is tie down rental space. Currently, we do not charge for tie down spots. There are several aircraft over there that use the tie down spots. They stay for free and they're taking up space. So the committee felt like it was time to start charging a nominal fee for that for the time being, to help try to utilize that space. There are several aircraft that haven't moved in over 5 years from over there, from their spots. So there may even be derelict aircraft. So this is a way of trying to get them moved out of the way so that we can utilize the airport in a better way. And the recommendation from them was to establish a fee of $30 a month for the tie down positions. And a lot of these people get on the hangar waiting list and their aircraft is there already, but they're not paying anything. And this way, at least if they're paying this, we know they're willing to pay something to wait for a hangar. Any questions?
Any questions regarding that? We have to entertain.
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion, we approve the establishment of a monthly tie-down fee of $30 for based aircraft effective January the 1st, 2027. So you've got a few months now to make arrangements if they don't want to do that.
That's correct.
Second. Okay, it's been properly motioned by Supervisor Witt and seconded by Supervisor Riddle to implementing a tie-down fee of $30 per month for based aircraft effective January 1st, 2027. Any further discussion regarding that issue? If not, everyone in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. That motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Next item on our agenda is new business. The first one is resolution 2026-33. And that's got to do with the, let me see, the 2026 personal property tax rate adjustment. Pages 103 through 104. Who would like to take that one and explain it? Okay.
Thank you. Personal property tax relief is in general, is the amount the state has provided, and it's the same amount year over year for a number of years where they froze, I believe, 2007, and it didn't increase any further. Could be mistaken on the specific year. So Halifax County receives 1.5 million in relief, which, given the current base, the total assessment for personal property of just over $235 million is equivalent to relief of 17%. In prior years, the board has chosen to award more relief, and by that using general fund dollars to provide more relief. So you can, if you want to set the relief at approximately the amount of a percentage that the state provides and be fairly neutral to the overall budget, then the relief rate would be 17%. For any percentage more than that, you're looking at using money not currently budgeted of about $125,000. So if you wanted to go to 18%, that's $125,000 in more relief provided, or less money that would come in, however you want to look at it. Totally at the discretion of the board. And I did want to add, this does come before you at this time, probably most years, so that the Commissioner of Revenue, Treasurer, and their staffs can finalize personal property tax bills, because that is printed on the bills and of course calculated if your vehicle meets the criteria.
Any questions, comments?
This isn't a change from the past. Is this a change from what's been done in the past?
No.
It's not any change. Through the policy that we've implemented.
She's having, can you speak up a little bit?
Excuse me. Has this policy changed from the past? Is this a new policy implemented or not?
I'm not aware the policy has changed.
Okay.
The percentage probably changes every year because your underlying assessed value changes. So in 2025, the relief was 18%, and for 26, the board elected to increase it to 20%, and therefore used some extra, if you will, and this of course would be for calendar 2027.
I knew it, but I just said that for the benefit of the public, so they would know what's happening.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve resolution
Can I finish
2026.
talking, Mr.
Excuse me, Mr. Clayton.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
okay, I thought you had to, but go
No,
ahead.
I hadn't finished
Okay.
it now.
Okay.
In order to be just transparent, like you said, that's the only reason I asked the question. I knew it hadn't changed or deviated, but we're just letting them know in order to be transparent. Okay, I'm finished now.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve resolution 2026-33 for the relief of 17% or other determined percentage by the board of supervisors. 17% is my motion.
Okay.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Supervisor Oaks and second by Vice Chair Smart to approve resolution 2026-33 for personal property tax relief at a rate of 17%. Any additional questions, comments? Okay. If not, everyone in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. The resolution is approved. Okay, the next item is in regard to animal control. That's the county MOU with the Sheriff's Office regarding animal control enforcement. Mr. Bray, would you like to comment on that?
So, on April sixth, the board voted to approve the temporary MOU between county administration and the sheriff's department for animal control enforcement. Since that time, administration and Sheriff Clark have had an opportunity to monitor the efficacy of separating animal control enforcement from the operations and management of the animal shelter. The primary reason for this was that the sheriff's office understands the intricacies of enforcement as the Halifax County Sheriff Office workforce uses firearms as a tool for the trade. County administration does not. And so having had several months of this, the enforcement under the sheriff's office, we're looking to reassign the enforcement component of animal control to the sheriff's office, while county administration retains operations and management of the animal shelter itself. And so with one strike in the suggestion motion, the sheriff has simply requested to strike the word permanently, which is still fine because we still meet the intent of reassigning the enforcement responsibility to the sheriff's office. And that would include all resources associated with animal enforcement.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion that we pass resolution 2026, well, excuse me.
The motion's on the page right here.
Yeah, make the motion,
Walker Dick Perman.
reassign the enforced component of animal control to Halifax County Sheriff's Office while the county administration retains operations and management of the animal shelter.
Second.
Okay, it has been properly motioned by Vice Chair Smart and seconded by Supervisor Oaks to reassign the enforcement component of animal control to the Halifax County Sheriff's Office while county administration retains operation and management of the animal shelter. The floor is now open for discussion. If there is none, I would guess everyone in favor.
I'd like a roll call on that, please.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Riddle,
Yes.
Chair Roller,
Yes.
Supervisor Oaks,
Yes.
Supervisor Witt,
Yes.
Vice Chair Smart,
Yes.
Supervisor Thompson,
Yes.
Supervisor McDowell,
No.
Supervisor Claiborne.
No.
Motion passes 6-2.
The next item on the agenda, item K3, is in regard to Memorial Drive Housing Rehabilitation Project. The funding agency requires the following documents to be adopted to get under contract for this work. And that is a pre-construction resolution, a fair housing certification, a non-discrimination policy, Section 3 business and employee plan, residential anti-displacement plan, Section 504 grievance policy with Section 504 self-evaluation narrative, and also rehab program design. In order for us to accomplish that, we can pass resolution 2026-32 that lists all those and approves it all in one swoop. So am I not, is that correct? That's okay. So basically, any questions, comments, motion to approve resolution 2026-32?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Supervisor Oaks and seconded by Vice Chair Smart to approve resolution 2026-32 to approve all the documents required to get this project under contract. Any discussion, comments? If none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. The motion carries. The next item under new business is the Mary Bethune Complex, page 165. Jason, go ahead.
Okay, as everyone's aware, we had the flooding incident back in December. We've wrapped up a lot of the repairs and remodeling of the area over there. However, there were two halls that weren't affected by the damage that weren't remodeled. But there was damage found as we moved stuff out from a previous incident that we weren't aware of. Insurance would not pay for that, so we're asking for permission to be able to execute the necessary project documents so that we can go ahead and complete this project and get this going. It looks very good, but we need to go ahead and get this space finished off and ready to go so we can start releasing it out again, because the school board is not coming back. And as it sits right now, we're not able to lease it.
And it's my understanding that, approving this, authorizing county staff to execute the necessary project documents, will eliminate mobilization fees for the companies that's doing the work.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We do it now, you're gonna pay mobilization to get some.
They're already in process.
So they're still got their stuff here. We won't have to make them move out and bring somebody else in or anything else. The crew that is finishing up will be
Do we have a cost estimate to complete?
roughly about 117.
117,000, in addition to what the insurance already paid,
Yes, sir.
and that's solely on us.
Yes.
And that's actually, part of the, public hearing that we, approved in the consent agenda for, when is it, the 18th?
18th.
Yeah, for the 18th board meeting, for that budget adjustment to take care of the cost. Yeah.
Okay.
But
The parts that have been done over there, if anybody would like to go over there and see it, I'd be more than happy to take you over there some point in time. But some of you've seen it. It looks really good. The areas that have been completed. I'm just trying to get it all so that it's all uniform through that section, so it'll be a lot easier to lease the space in.
Keith, you wanna make that motion?
Yeah, I'd make a motion that, we give them the go-ahead to, let's get this going, because we wasted a lot of time on it.
Second. Okay, it's been properly motioned by Supervisor McDowell to authorize county staff to execute the necessary project documents to complete the remaining flood recovery, remediation, and reconstruction work at the Mary Bethune Office Complex, and seconded by Supervisor Riddle. Any further discussion, questions regarding this issue? If not, everyone in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. The motion carries.
thank you.
The next item on our agenda is,
Chairman Olin.
Yeah.
I've got, several things I would like to add on the new business. The first thing I would like to add to the agenda for discussion for the 100% disabled veterans to be exempt from the solid waste fees.
okay.
I would like to make a recommendation to the Service Authority for this to be put into policy. Now, it's my understanding if one board member asks for this to be added to the agenda, it takes two board members.
It was actually two.
It should be added,
Well,
but it was not added. So let's get beyond that.
okay, well, we have no problem. We can have discussion on it.
Yeah, I would like to.
And we are, we do have a solid waste Disposal Authority meeting scheduled right after this meeting.
Okay.
And that is what is on the agenda.
Well, I'm asking you all, please
Yeah.
consider this because, you know, disabled veterans, you take some, they have no other income but Social Security.
Yeah.
Right. So, I know we need to look into this.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's, yeah.
Okay.
But that was the thought. I mean, it's the Service Authority. They set the fees, they collect the fees, and they turn the fees over to the county. So, I mean, the Board of Supervisors, really it's the Service Authority that deals with the fees and relieving fees. So,
Right. And I can send each one of you a copy of, what was on the website, so.
Right, because it's on the website, Mr. Chairman, is 100% disabled veterans are exempt from solid waste fees in Halifax, Virginia.
Okay,
The exemption applies to veterans who have a service-connected permanent and total disability from the VA and local regulation often provides such exemptions to support veterans and their families.
Where was that from?
Okay.
This came up off the website.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, whose website?
We're getting,
Okay.
wait a minute,
Okay.
we're getting ahead of us. So this is more,
Yeah,
we should be doing this in supervisor comments. Well, you know,
Just a clarification, it's not the Halifax County Service Authority, it's the solid waste.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Halifax County Solid Waste Authority. Thank you.
Thinking ahead.
Thank you. I was just, anyway, thank you for that.
All right, the next thing I have, I would also like to add discussion on attorney's fees being charged for services rendered in closed session, because we have already spent this year $297,000 since last March. That bothers me. So we need to really look at this. What are we doing here?
Exactly.
It's very concerning. It has to be to you all as well.
And I know that those, we did have information sent to all the board members, and it pretty much shows the bills. It's itemized on what the fees were paid for. I myself got it at the end of last, I hadn't had time to review it. But hey, it needs to be reviewed. I agree with you.
Absolutely.
It needs to be reviewed. We need to look at it, and we need to try to get a handle on that. But I agree if it needs to be looked at, but I'm not really in a position myself right now to make comments or determinations on it.
Okay.
But yes, I agree. That needs to be something to be looked at.
Okay, one more thing. We were talking about the flock cameras. I really want to put a motion on the floor to halt these cameras until further information can be researched. Because I'm going to tell you about a case that happened in California. This young man and woman was trying out a Land Rover. The flock camera read 5 of the letters and numbers on that plate. It missed the first one. It was a dealer tag. So they stopped this couple and they drawed guns and everything on. I mean, the guy was scared to death. So we need to think about this real hard, because when you miss one letter, it could have been my plate. That's a problem. That's infringing on the Fourth Amendment. So I think we really need to look at this real hard. Let's don't go any further until we get some more information on these.
I agree.
Okay.
Now that's my motion on the floor.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna rule the motion out of order, and the reason being is that we had a Senate Bill 699 that was signed into law by our governor, and it took effect July 1st. And it's kind of along the lines of FOIA requires. Anyway, the bill provides that no final action may be taken on any item added to an agenda after a meeting commences unless the matter is time sensitive, the matter is subject to a closed meeting properly identified in a motion in accordance with FOIA requirements. So, I mean, it's if it's not on the agenda at the beginning of the meeting, we aren't allowed by state law to vote on it.
So you're saying we can't make a motion during our session?
You can make a motion.
We've done it many times.
Oh, well,
I mean, come on now. I mean,
well, this is a new July 1st in effect for you.
I mean, it's already in the Supreme Court, so who's gonna be held accountable?
Well, I mean, Keith,
This board?
Keith, you've brought it up. We can do our research. We can get it on the agenda. We can discuss it next month. You know, I don't know how long these cameras have been around. I wasn't even aware of a flock camera to the last few weeks. And it's my understanding they've been here quite a while, and I don't know that another month will have a large negative impact.
Can I put some clarity to it?
Please,
Yes.
When they brought the subject up, last week or a couple of weeks ago, when Mr. Dunn brought the subject up, I looked up the ordinance, and that ordinance was adopted by state law, which gives the sheriff's departments of the localities the right to operate those flock camps. So the county boards of supervisors have no authority over that because that funding comes from the state, okay?
Yeah.
But we do have a right to discuss it and make a recommendation about the policy to the sheriff department and to the state.
And
So that's the best way for the, we should, like I said, we could state this, we could have added it to the agenda, but as you said earlier, Chairman Roller, we can say it during citizen comment too, so it could be held at the next.
yeah, and I think that's what we Ron's already made those information we're checking. We just need to get information where we can make a educated decision.
Right. Well, just to let the record show that I did ask for a motion on this.
Okay, let me get back to my agenda. Where were we? Okay, we were all into, y'all, excuse me for letting us get off of the agenda. We've completed new business. We are on to pending matters, unfinished business. The first being South Central Transportation Authority Resolution 2026-27. And we did have a work session this afternoon in regard to that proposal. And there's a lot of good information provided. It's you know, it gives the county a lot of options as far as doing stuff to get roads repaired, but I do have concerns about it. And but I would be glad for other people to voice their opinions before me, or I'll be glad to go with mine first. So, okay, well, I will. Yeah, my main concern with this is the with us joining the authority, it provides revenue for us to make road improvements. It also provides us revenue where we can do matching funds and some of these smart scale projects which can bring money into the county. That's all good. Yeah, but it's all about money. Now, if we join this service authority, with that, there's a sales and use tax of 0.7 cent on each dollar spent. And with that, the estimates show that would generate about, well, $2,490,000 a year. Now that's sales tax that our citizens, when they are spending money in the county, but also our visitors that are coming through and spending money, they're gonna have to pay that's gonna stay here at this county. You know, I'm not a fan of increasing taxes on the public. You know, now that and gasoline and diesel taxes or combined will go into the authority, and the location receives 55% of that money back to do whatever we want to with. My main concern is that our tax revenue we generate is more than the revenue that we'll receive back and have control over. It's just a big concern that I have, so. Any other comments?
Mr. Chairman, I share your concerns. The footprint of the authority is somewhat disturbing to me. We're the westernmost locality that would be involved in it. The other thing that gives me a little bit of heartburn is that our VDOT works out of the Lynchburg office. And I wish our region of counties out of Lynchburg office had their own authority. I think it would better represent the travel patterns of our community. It encompasses Lynchburg, Campbell County, Pittsylvania County. I think that would be a better fit for our community. As an aside to that, the 10% mass transport caveat of it really didn't have any bearing on my decision to say what I'm saying. But I think that at some point in time, it would behoove us to try to have a partnership with our regional compatriots in the Lynchburg VDOT office and maybe have a better sense of targeting the needs of our region of the state. Mr. Ellington, they gave a very detailed presentation to us and very, very informative. I don't like the 0.7% sales tax that's added to what already is on everything that we purchase. But I more importantly feel like that we're the tail end of the wagon, and as such, we may or may not reap the benefits that have been promised to us. That's my 2 cents worth.
I have to disagree with you. We've been working with the Southside Planning District Commission for a while dealing with this. Folks, we're on the brink of resolving everything dealing with revenue for the county in the future. We have industrial development and economic development coming here now. But in order for it to meet the transportation problem that we've had for years, I think some of you recall that we tried to establish an authority years ago. We backed up, that didn't work out. But with the expansions that we are having now, and with the possibilities that huge industries and other things are coming in, that may be the resolution to the problems that we have dealing with solar companies and solar data centers. But in order for people to come or get here, they have to have some type of transportation within the area to be able to get here. And now what do we have now? Nothing. We have nothing here for the future. We're not dealing with something that's short term here. This is a long-term project that if we don't do it now, we're gonna be left out of the loop again. And we're still gonna be behind. So it's time now for the exercise faith and do things that are necessary for to improve the county. But as I said, time and time again, this is not about me. I'm 71 years old. What we're dealing with, as the lady Ms. Privet said, we're dealing with our grandchildren and children's future, okay? So we got to stop talking about the taxes we disapprove of. The taxes are gonna be higher 20 years from now if we don't do it now. And the best thing for us to do is to come into the 21st century now, deal with that on faith that we're going to improve. And I have a good feeling about the direction the county is going in. But we have to exercise some faith and belief that we're headed in the right direction and stop denying everything that deals with the future. As a couple of people said tonight when they were talking, we're dealing with the young people. We're dealing with their future. According to the Bible, I've lived my 70, and a lot of us have. But we're dealing with the future of Halifax County, well, for things that are going to occur when we're more than likely not going to be here. So I sort of disagree with that. I know what they're saying in terms of numbers now, but those are numbers. To build this transportation system is gonna take, maybe about 15 or 20 years, okay? That's something that we have to look at too. What's good for the future of our county? And so I'm telling you now, we backed out of it 15 years ago. A lot of you, well, I know y'all weren't on the board, but now we still lack any viable transportation to this area. And with the industrial development that we're having now, we need to take advantage, notice about the fact that we don't have it and move forward. And that's my reason for saying that we need to go in and do this. And then within the next 15 or 20 years, we may have a resolution to dealing with data centers and solar systems. Because that type of situation, and I'm gonna tie that into it too. A data center of the mega type that Danville and Mecklenburg County have, it's gonna take for us to get the infrastructure, as Mr. Williams has said, it's gonna take 15 or 20 years to get that here. We'll be long gone. So let's deal with things now that possibly gonna benefit the county. And that may resolve any issues about data centers if we get that revenue started and know that we're going in the right direction to get it started. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Supervisor Witt.
So, first of all, I commend the Crater District for doing a transportation authority, okay? And even for inviting Halifax County to be a part of that. But in reality, we don't fit. The long-range plans are not going to benefit Halifax County. They're going to benefit the Crater District, in my opinion. I think if we want to have a authority, we need to do it with our people, meaning the Lynchburg, Halifax, Southside people who have the same needs. The needs of the Crater District is the I-95 and I-85 corridor from Petersburg and Richmond to Raleigh. That's not going to benefit Halifax County. Now, there is money in this that we could use locally. If you want to do a 0.7 cent tax increase for that, the value for me is not there. And it's not a bad idea, but this doesn't benefit Halifax County, again, in my opinion, and I'm just being honest, okay? So, you know, it just doesn't work for me. That's all I got to say.
Chairman,
Okay, next, Keith, you have the floor.
You know, I'm gonna agree or disagree with this. Everybody knows as well as I do, infrastructure means everything. We need, and Mr. Brown is here, he could probably speak on this too, but if you go on both sides of the road, from Hitachi up, from this side, from AJ Transport, which has done got big, we need 3 lanes on both sides.
I agree.
I mean, we need 3 lanes. So this would put money in the pot to help us with infrastructure. And we don't have to go all the way up 58, but look, everybody sitting in here tonight knows as well as I do, you're going down the road from Hitachi or Dollar General, you're gonna get caught up in traffic. So why don't we work on the inner structure and try to get an extra lane on each side? Like I said, we don't have to go all the way to Danville, but it's a start. And that 1.7 cents, I mean, there's money to be made there. I understand. We're paying it in small increments, and I would rather do that than pay it all at one time when they may tax us 7 cents on the gallon. So we can do it slowly now, or we can wait and get hit with a big price tag. That's my feeling on it, but, you know, I've been in transportation for 47 years. So, I mean, it's, like I say, it's up to this board, I'm only one voice, but we do need to do something with our infrastructure on 58. That's all I have, Chairman.
Can I add something? If somebody else has something to
Okay,
say
wait a minute, let me see.
before.
No,
You have-
Mr. Chairman, I did want to say, I agree with Supervisor McDowell, because with what we have going with the IDA and the growth that we need, I think, I mean, do you do it now or later? I think we do it now. I think we'd be better off, because the IDA is doing an excellent job trying to get growth here with manufacturing, and we need the infrastructure to support it. That's what I got to say.
Anybody else?
Okay,
I
Robbie,
just believe that, as you said, Larry, that the infrastructure for Southside, I don't believe it'll be there. We won't see the benefit based on the money we spend. And I also have a concern with some of the wording in there regarding the proposal with regard to the authority's ability for eminent domain and to be able to create depth. I'm just not ready to do that unless it's for the south side only.
And if we, are you finished? I'm sorry.
Monty, you have anything?
The one thing I liked about it was the fact we would get money to work on some of these secondary roads. But then we got taxpayers don't want the taxes raised, so it's 6 1 1/2 dozen others.
Okay.
I'm gonna propose something to y'all.
Okay.
Highway 501 North to Lynchburg.
Yes, sir.
How many lanes are there?
Depending on what part of the road.
Two till you get to.
All the way to Lynchburg, mostly 2 lanes. Okay. When you're getting ready to develop a project like we're doing with Hitachi, you're gonna need connections with 4 lanes at least.
I agree.
The 58, 501, 360 corridor runs through where? Riverdale. If you connect with South Hill with 85, all the way down here, that infrastructure is already designed, and we will get transportation from a larger area than we would going to Lynchburg. You know how many years it would take? How many years it's been since Lynchburg has been 4 lane? For me, since I was a baby.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
okay, so the logic behind that is that we have to act now. And the most logical thing to do is to connect with 95. When we do that, y'all, we'll be connected with 95 and 85. Because we will have that transportation system that connects that infrastructure that's needed with the industry that's coming. That makes more sense than to just wait.
Okay. I would like to make the point that if we, I think 4 lane would be great, 501, all the way to Lynchburg.
It'll be another 100 years.
Well, I'm just saying that, you know, even with us as Transportation Authority, we only do Halifax. You know, we get into a Transportation Authority, we need Campbell County in that too, so we can join.
We don't need Campbell County for this.
And then you got Carolina,
You don't need, but think about it, Larry, just think about it before you say that.
Yeah.
For the make that connection to a major interstate, we don't need Campbell County. That's Lynchburg. That's a 2 lane road that probably take another 70 years to make 4 lane.
All right, so.
It may take more.
Are you, Mr. McDowell and Mr. Claiborne, you're proposing that we do a 0.7 cent tax increase,
right.
sales tax increase?
It's better than a 80 cent increase in the future for our young people.
Okay, so of that 0.7 cents, we keep 55% of that.
Right.
45 goes somewhere else.
Right.
That may or may not benefit us. We don't know yet.
You get to give a little to make.
The strong point is we do have 4 lane all the way to.
That's right.
South Hill and 95. So we do have that connection. This is for me, a matter of if we do this tax increase, 0.7 cent sales tax, is that gonna be enough benefit to fix what you're talking about?
Yes,
At
sir.
Hitachi, it's gonna raise 2 million something a year.
Right.
Is that gonna be enough to do what you're talking about?
But what you have to do is look at the possibilities of what Hitachi may bring in the future. With that major expansion that we have with Hitachi, it's more likely than not that other industry may be willing to come here with Hitachi than somebody come from Lynchburg. Okay?
I agree with that.
Because
It just makes sense.
the tractor and trailers that come in usually come in
That's it.
from 501.
That's right.
Okay, when they make that turn, they're at Sheets. And I'm just telling you, I've seen it many times. It takes everything for them to make those turns. I mean, you talking about 40-some wheels. And when they get to Hitachi, they're having a hard time crossing the road up there because the trailer is dragging so bad, they have to stop traffic where these trucks can get in. But if we widen this road, that's gonna mean a whole lot.
We had a work session today and you guys.
I couldn't be here. I already had all the information I really needed on it.
We haven't ever had a chance to discuss this like.
Yeah, we did.
Well, it's good that we're discussing it with the public now.
Yeah,
so
we
they
did.
know. It's good that we're discussing it with them.
We discussed it before with Jay came here.
We did, but we didn't have very much understanding.
Well, I pretty much knew what he was saying.
$2.5 million a year. The 501 project where we just added 2 lanes for what, 2.5, 3 miles? That was a $20 million project. So we're talking.
Put it off till the joint meeting.
You're talking about in today's terms. Again, I said, we got to
$2
look
million
toward the
a year ain't
future,
gonna do much.
okay? We're not looking at us.
wanna
All of
see-
us over here are almost 70 years old.
So
We looking toward the future for the individual, for Halifax County.
I would like to have time to consider what you all brought to the table tonight and,
It's a deadline though. Don't we have a deadline that we
maybe
have
we
to
could
answer?
move this item to the joint meeting coming up in August or?
Okay, Mr. Bray, when is the deadline for the sign? Do you know? The deadline for the sign was that,
Basically, whenever the General Assembly.
Prior to the end of the year.
prior to the end of the year, okay.
So I'd like to have a little more time to talk to some folks and.
I'm good with that.
And,
Yeah, I'm.
Let's not take too much time, y'all. okay?
Well, the
next
joint
meeting-
meeting's what, 18?
The 18th. Oh, you said that.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be fine.
I mean,
That will be fine.
I'm undecided right now.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Well, I just have difficulty imposing more sales tax.
But we're looking at
But
today.
this thing,
and that's-
we're not gonna be here to see it, so, you know.
Okay.
Not gonna add us that much because they're gonna be developing over the next 10 or so years.
So you're gonna put on next.
We will put it on the next meeting's agenda.
And you all don't have to return if you don't want to.
That's on the 18th.
We appreciate you,
August 18th.
being here again and, you did a great job today. by the
Yeah,
way.
thank you, very, very informative, very educational.
And I thank y'all for including us too, because I think it's really important for this county.
So you're saying that you all are gonna get together and have a conversation?
On the well, we'll come back on the 18th. Everybody can do their own research and.
I just wanna make sure that, are you looking to administration to facilitate this, or will those be one-on-one discussions? with
No,
each other?
it just be doing the
I think
planning.
we'll do
after
our
the
own
joint
thing.
planning.
We'll do all that, we'll put it for consideration
Yeah.
at our 18th. And I reckon that's gonna be a special call meeting, I would guess.
No, we have a joint meeting with the planning commission.
Well, the planning commission doesn't have.
Oh, it's been canceled.
This been
Oh.
canceled. So we'll do a special
Yeah.
meeting for the public hearing for the
Okay.
budget thing. And then we'll.
Let me ask, Mr. Brown, would it be possible to get the transportation, director there from Pennsylvania County to come in and talk about what they have done? We went there last year and we had some good conversations about, bus routes and looked at, as far as train routes. So, you know, if he could come down and kind of explain where they're at, because they're growing. So maybe he can give us some
Yeah,
pointers.
Mr. McDowell, that's a good point you made, but guess where they're growing from? Danville, Pennsylvania County, in this direction, not the 501.
Yeah, that's why we need.
So that would be
Yeah.
positive for,
Right,
justify
right.
the inclusion of it.
So if you can find out.
Well, I would,
Okay.
if you can find her some information, if you could provide it prior to that meeting, because I like
Yeah.
to study and digest.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that would be, thank you. Okay, are we good to move on to the next item? Which would be staff update. Do we have anything?
Yes, there are a couple of updates. First, Mr. Easton and I did meet with Ms. Furman to look at the Hope Church Ministry based on the concerns that she had expressed at the previous meeting. And based on the conversation, it wasn't that Hope Church Ministries, they followed all the rules and the expectations that we had. And so she is, you know, of course, tonight during the citizens' comment expressed those concerns again. But at the last meeting, the board asked us to look into whether all of the I's were dotted and the T's crossed from a process standpoint. And they did follow all of our expectations. Mr. Easley, do you have anything else to add?
No, sir.
Did we have in that had to be fenced in?
No, sir, we did not.
Okay. No kind of fencing whatsoever.
It was questioned about the security, and the board agreed that the 24-hour surveillance of cameras would suffice for the security. So no fencing at all.
Can we go back and amend that?
So
And have some fencing put in?
Yes,
The
any
perimeter.
land use application can be amended, at the board discretion. That is a public hearing as an amendment to a CUP, but yes, the board can initiate a amendment to any land use application.
Okay.
Normally, the amendment comes when there are some violations, there are some concerns, or some incidents that happened that created this amendment to any CUP. My understanding that they have not officially opened as of yet.
Okay.
I think it's supposed to be this week. There is a condition that put in the site condition that require them to come back to this board on a semi-annual basis to provide any infractions that occurred. And at that time, this board can issue any amendment or any revocation of any permit at any time.
Okay.
But to this point, they're not officially open. We have no infractions at all with the operation.
Okay. Thank you, Deej.
Just another staff update. I think it may have been in February that Ms. Furman raised an issue of concern about Empower burying cables outside of the easement. So we did contact Empower, Scott Simpson. And she has confirmed that they have been in touch with her. However, it's not been completely resolved yet. So that's still being worked through, but had not come back before to a previous board meeting to provide that update. And so that's all I have from a staff updates perspective.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is supervisor comments. And Supervisor Riddle? Okay. Supervisor Oaks?
I'll pass, thank you.
Supervisor Witt?
No comment.
I have no comment.
No comment.
Supervisor McDowell?
Yes, you know I'm gonna have a comment, on this Fourth Amendment right. Let me give you a little overview. The Fourth Amendment protects people from unreasonable searches and seizures by the government. In short, it means the police cannot search you, your home, or your things, or take your property without a good reason or a legal paper signed by the judge. Now let me follow up with that. I think the police department does a fine job here. But then when you go into infringing on my Fourth Amendment right, I have a problem with it. But as far as the police force here, I have no problem with our police force. I think they do a great job. We all make mistakes, but the flock cameras, I think that's infringing on our Fourth Amendment right, and I think it's wrong. That's all I have on.
Supervisor Thompson, any comments?
Hey, one more thing, let me finish, sorry. I had several calls this afternoon from my constituents in my district. They are totally against flock cameras.
I'm sorry about that, I forgot that.
Supervisor Thompson?
Yeah, I go along with Mr. Dow on the flock cameras. I think it's infringing on our rights. You can't even look at Facebook now without them knowing what you're looking at. I mean, where does it end?
Supervisor Claiborne?
I know I've talked a lot, but I have one thing to talk about. The young lady right here talked about history and about the history of our country in terms of dealing with DEI. I hadn't talked about that until tonight, but just to give you just a little short synopsis about DEI and how it evolved. 1619, I'm not saying this to offend, these are historical facts, okay? The first real slaves arrived in 1619. Okay, at that time, we were, according to the law, treated as chattel or property. Okay, it wasn't until 1776 that the Declaration of Independence came out. And the Declaration of Independence freed people. We were not even considered as people then, okay? And as I said, I'm not offending anyone, these are facts. Okay, in 1787, that's when we the people came out. At that time, we were not even people, okay? And this is just for to contradict what people are feeling about we were not considered to be people until really December of 1865 when we got the 13th Amendment that people say it freed our slaves, but it didn't technically free us. I'll go through some more in detail with some people who want to listen. But in 1867 is when the 13th Amendment was formally adopted, okay? We still, between 1776 and 1867, were only treated as 3/5 of a person for terms of representation. We were not even treated as whole people until we were freed as slaves. These are my ancestors, and some of you are their ancestors. Now, we really didn't get DEI until 1964 with the adoption of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which said that discrimination on the basis of race, color, or creed was illegal, okay? With adoption of the Civil Rights Act then, that's when DEI really came into existence. It's only been in existence for 62 years. And I think that we as a country have come a mighty long ways there. But in order to understand what DEI is, it's just trying to catch us up to what we never had. And as long as it was done in a peaceful way, we all should have been willing to accept it. But that's just a little tidbit of what happened in terms of history. I used to teach before I went to my other profession. So I was a history major in college, so I went through this in more detail when I was teaching. But we need to all understand that it's not about taking over anything or superseding the rights that the country have. It's about gaining equality and in terms of dealing with those rights. That's all I have to say. We can go well, we can do well, but we have to know the actual facts before we criticize people. And all we want, and in this country is equality, for everyone. That's all I have to say. I'm gonna shut up there. That's it.
Agreed, Mr. Flavor.
I hate to do this to you, one quick comment.
Okay, Robbie?
In regard with the flock cameras and upcoming discussion, can we ask, like to ask our attorneys, if they would look up, my understanding that there's, they've been ruled, they have not, I don't know what the right word is. They have been looked at by, I think, the 7th and the 10th US courts, and they've ruled that that you could use them. But I'd like to know the US court's opinion on whether they are against the Fourth Amendment.
Oh,
If that's the pleasure of the board, we will take that up.
I'm sorry?
If that's the pleasure of the board, we will take that up.
Get y'all to agree with?
Yeah, I'd love to know that.
Yeah, we need to do research.
Yeah.
We need to get to do our research.
Just want to have them ready.
Do we need to do the research ourselves?
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring you back to what we spent on lawyers. I think that's something we need to do in-house. I'm sorry.
Well, I'll make this point, and we can do our research ourselves, but we need to base it on laws and statutes and not AI. Because AI is convenient, it'll tell you a whole lot, but it'll tell you a whole lot of stuff that's not quite right also. So I'm just making that comment. So.
With AI, all you have to do is follow up, though, and make sure that you follow up and make sure it's true.
AI is much more dangerous than flock cameras, I can tell you that right now.
I think, I disagree.
I got the mugshot to prove it.
They're
Well, flock cameras
Flock
are
cameras
unconstitutional, period. That's what offends when
Chairman, Mr. Witt, what you saying that then, we don't need data centers then?
That's it.
Exactly.
Let's move on. Let's move
Okay,
on.
let's go on.
We getting off agenda. Okay, the next item is to enter into closed session. And, those motions are on page 171. Who anyone would
First one there.
care to make those?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make the motion that we enter the closed section to discuss, where's the subsection A1, don't have a, for discussion to discuss appointments, due process and salary adjustments. Subsection A3, discussion IDA Project D and county land acquisitions. And subsection A8, legal from Sands Anderson.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been properly motioned by Vice Chair Smart and second by Supervisor Oaks to enter into closed section. In reference to subsection A1, appointments, due process and salary adjustment. Subsection A3, IDA Project D and land acquisition, and subsection A8, legal, Sands Anderson's defamation. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. We will now enter into closed session. We'll be going to the finance conference rooms. The ones who would like to stay here, feel free. I'm gonna give us a few minutes before we get over that, because I know I need a break.
Recording in progress.
You're guilty, and Deputy Adams back there will be escorting you to the Blue Ridge Regional Jail Authority.
Yeah, well, you can take him a bail for me.
Don't check.
He's gonna be at home for a whole week, he's on vacation.
Chair Roller, do you have who motion back there?
Getting all ready.
Riddle and
Roll, yeah, roll motions and Smart second.
I'm under 10.
We got another meeting.
Do we do? Yes, we do, as soon as we finish this one. Okay, we need a motion to adopt a resolution for certification of closed session.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been, properly motioned by Supervisor Witt, seconded by Supervisor Oaks. To adopt resolution for certification of closed session. Roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Riddle,
Yes.
Chair Roller,
Certified.
Supervisor Oaks,
Certified.
Supervisor Witt,
Certified.
Vice Chair Smart,
Certified.
Supervisor Thompson,
Certified.
Supervisor McDowell,
Certified.
Supervisor Clavin.
certified.
The next item is appointments. We have the Danville Community College Advisory Board.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move to appoint Mr. Joel Medley.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly motioned by Vice Chair Smart and seconded by Supervisor Riddle to appoint Joel Medley to a 4-year term starting July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2030. Anyway, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Okay, appointment is approved. The next appointment is Department of Social Services.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we reappoint Mr. Detcher Carr.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly motioned by Supervisor Riddle and second by Vice Chair Smart to reappoint Dexter Carr for a 4-year term to the Department of Social Services, term July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2030. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Okay, appointment is approved. The next is the Library Board.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve Ben Capozzi, Judy Ward, and Phyllis Smith to 4-year terms each, with Judy Ward being a reappointment, Phyllis Smith being a reappointment.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly motioned by Supervisor Oaks and seconded by Supervisor Riddle to reappoint Ben Capozzi, Judy Ward, Phyllis Smith, with Judy Ward and Phyllis Smith being appointments to 4-year terms starting July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2030. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. The appointments are approved. The next item is Surfside Behavioral Health.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to nominate Joan Bowers to reappoint for a 4-year term and Stuart Comer reappointed to a 4-year term from 7/26 to 6/30/2030.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly motioned by Supervisor Witt and seconded by Supervisor Claiborne to reappoint Joan Bowers and Stuart Comer to Surfside Behavioral Health from terms from July 2026 to June 2030. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Appointments are approved. Surfside Regional Service Authority.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to nominate Vice Chair Smart be reappointed to the Southside Regional Service Authority.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly motioned by Supervisor Whitten, second by Supervisor Oaks to reappoint Vice Chair Smart to the Surfside Regional Authority. Nancy, what are the lengths of those terms? Do you recall?
I believe it's 4 year, but I can email all y'all to confirm.
Okay. But anyway, that was beginning July 1st, 2026. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. The appointment is approved. We have one other action. And that will be the Sheriff's Supplement for Animal Control Services.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make the motion that we supplement the sheriff's salary at the rate of $10,000 per annum for his assuming the role of animal control enforcement for the
I'll
county.
second that.
Okay, it's been properly motioned by Vice Chair Smart and seconded by Supervisor Witt to provide a $10,000 supplement to the sheriff for taking on the animal control duties. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. That motion carries. And I reckon my next question would be, as far as the Board of Supervisors, our next meeting is gonna be a called meeting on the 18th, so we'll adjourn.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second. It's been properly motioned by Supervisor Oaks and second by Supervisor Rule for us to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Okay, meeting adjourned.
So next meeting on the 18th.
Next meeting will be on the 18th.
Okay.
We also tonight have a Halifax County Solid Waste Disposal Authority meeting. And I'd be glad if you stay, but you need to go.